my name is Alex with Travel Fashion Girl, where we teach women how to travel stylishly light for any destination in the world. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be sharing with you my capsule wardrobe for my last minute 1-week beach trip to Bonaire. A year and a half ago, I had a scuba diving accident in the Galapagos, and it kept me from scuba diving, which is one of my biggest passions, even more so than traveling. Well, in pursuit, with the goal of wanting to pursue my passions again and reconnect with myself, I wanted to start scuba diving again. So for 2019, that was one of my goals. So I turned to the experts at the Facebook group Girls at Scuba, and I shared with them my situation. I shared with them what happened to me, and I asked them for their advice on where I could scuba dive, where it would be easy for me to get comfortable again with diving. A large amount of them actually recommended Bonaire as a really easy place to scuba dive. They said they loved it. It was one of their favorite places, and it was the perfect place for me to get comfortable with scuba diving again. I just got back a couple of days ago. I'm back home in England, and I felt really happy to be able to do that. So yay, very exciting moment. Very happy to have had success with retrying scuba diving. And in doing so, because this was a last minute trip and really a last ditch effort at trying to get my love and my passion back into my life, we had a very last minute trip to plan. So a couple of weeks ago, when we first booked the flight and decided to go to Bonaire last minute, I turned to the Travel Fashion Girls Facebook group. So if you're not a member, make sure to join. And I started sharing my process, the things that I was going to start packing, what I was going to take, and how I start planning my capsule wardrobe for traveling. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And before I get started, let's talk about how you choose your clothing for a beach trip, or any trip for that matter, because what my activities are were in Bonaire might be different to yours. So the very first thing is getting advice and researching. Well, what do people wear in Bonaire? What's the weather going to be like? So my first step was definitely the weather. I found out that it was going to be an average about 78 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So I believe that's like 26 to 27 Celsius. And the water temperature was also meant to be warm too, about 26 degrees Celsius, so about 76, 78 Fahrenheit. So it seemed like it was going to be a very warm weather vacation. I wasn't really going to need, and that was the same temperature day and night. But there was a little bit, what I didn't expect actually on the trip was wind chill. I always forget to check the wind chill factor when I check the temperature. So ladies, don't forget to do that when you're looking at the weather. So I knew that was going to be the weather. Then I had one of the fellow travel fashion girls that recommended Bonaire and is also a diver tell me that nobody wears anything but flip-flops in this island, that it was super casual, and I didn't really have to worry about packing any dressy clothing or anything. So this is the initial feedback as I'm getting. So warm weather, very laid back. And while I looked up that there was a variety of activities that I could participate in during my time in Bonaire, for me, this trip was really about just reconnecting with myself, having a little bit of a break from Wi-Fi, trying to get back in the water. So it was going to be total relaxation, which meant that I really didn't need a lot of clothing. I wasn't going to need any special shoes. And other than my diving gear, I wouldn't need any special gear. So with all that in mind, as the research for the trip, I started planning my capsule. So the first part of the capsule wardrobe, and if you've never heard about a capsule wardrobe, or you're not really sure about the concept, we do have an ebook about that kind of explains all this. It's called Pack Light Stylishly. And I've had this ebook forever on Travel Fashion Girl, and it really breaks down all the principles. And that's really the key to packing light, because I wanted to be able to take just what would fit in this one bag, because we were going to have our dive gear as our one checked bag, and already that's really heavy gear. So with a baggage allowance, and again, we're kind of moving all of our stuff back to England, and it's like last minute trip. But that was my goal, is to get everything just in this small space. So I started by creating the core parts of a capsule. So what are the things that I'm going to need? First of all, it's going to be a 1-week trip, arriving Saturday night, departing Friday afternoon, spending most of the days in the water, diving. Wasn't really planning on doing anything else. So I started by choosing 3 tops, 1 dress, a pair of shorts. So here we've got 5 pieces, and these really are just sort of, it becomes the essential. So if I was only going to take 5 pieces on this trip, this is what I would have taken. So I guess this is where you can start thinking for every trip, well, what are those 5 basics? My travel fashion girl, Dawn, said, make sure to bring your dress. So that became one of my essentials. In addition to that, I then thought for a 1-week trip, 3 shirts. If I were to wear one, I could re-wear each one twice. That's 6 days. It's almost a week. I have the pieces that I've already invested in, and I've really worked hard to create a capsule wardrobe for everyday life and travel with things that I can go back to every single time. A vacay style top. It's really lightweight, it's wrinkle resistant, and it's awesome for hot weather. I love it. It's really breathable and light for humidity. Then I chose this other incredibly lightweight top, Calypso St. Bart's. I found this several years ago, and I've taken it with me on diving trips and in Southeast Asia as well. It's very comfortable and lightweight and breezy. And then I brought one of my Michael Stars draped sleeveless tops because they're versatile and comfortable. This is like my t-shirt. So instead of just wearing a basic t-shirt that's not, maybe not that interesting, I take this, I always pack one of these tops in my travels because it's comfortable and soft and it feels like a t-shirt, but just a little bit nicer. Lastly, for my bottoms, so what I can wear, I can mix and match these all with a pair of shorts. And you may not be a short person, you may not like denim, but what I found for me with a beach trip is, especially when I'm diving, is these are really easy to rewear for me and dress up. And obviously denim mixes and matches with everything. So I found for me in my travel experience that a pair of just denim jeans are really easy to wear. And the key thing here is rewear without washing. That's why denim is easy, because I actually wore these nonstop on the trip. I've washed all my clothing, but I purposely didn't wash my denim shorts so I could show you that they were still in pretty good shape without being washed in a week. So definitely very handy. And these tops, if I'm re-wearing them once, airing them out, hanging them again, I could very easily have gone on this trip with just these items, because the key to packing light is also choosing things that you're comfortable re-wearing. You don't have to, but this is an ultra light strategy. So there's the core for my travel capsule wardrobe. But there's a few other essentials that I knew that I wanted for this trip. One was, well, I need a couple of cover-ups because I'm planning to spend a lot of time in and out of the water. And one random piece that I found that I bought a couple of years ago that's become my go-to hero as a cover-up has been this romper. It's a really fun color and a fun print, and I like it because I'm always just wearing neutrals. So this is actually a color and print that I like. So that's a big plus. It's also, it's very lightweight. Obviously, I'm not really gonna be wearing this to go walk around sightseeing. It's kind of like my pool cover-up, my beach cover-up, walking around the resort, easy. And it's just, I bought this at New Look here in England. I love it, easy to rewear. It washes and dries really quickly if I needed it to. So that was my cover-up. In addition to that, I decided to bring one more top that I can also pair with this clothing. So this is my process of how I'm building on the 5 core items. So I've added a cover-up, which if, again, I could wear around the resort, so it could be something I'd even wear every single day, and I have reworn it quite easily. But I wanted one more cover-up that I could wear over my bathing suits, but also something that I could wear with my shorts as well. So this is the top. I actually bought this at Zara in Paris, and it's been another hero piece in my wardrobe because it's white linen. It's a tunic, so it makes a really pretty easy to wear cover-up. Plus, I can actually also dress this tunic up with trousers, with shorts, with slacks even. I've even worn them with my anatomy pants and heels. Well, actually, that's how I wore them in Paris to go to Moulin Rouge. And this I'm now wearing at the beach. So this actually ended up being one of my favorite pieces to wear on this trip. So now I've got 5, 6, 7 items. So in addition to that, what else did I take? I also decided to bring one more pair of shorts. I wasn't going to, but I decided to, because I wasn't taking that many items to begin with, I thought, why not take one more pair of shorts? Because that way I'd have some variety. And a lot of you are scared of white denim or just white in general, but actually these are unwashed. I wanted to purposely show them to you unwashed. I got back on Saturday. But see, white denim and in pretty good shape. I think I had like a small makeup stain here on the edge, but other than that, easy to rewear as well because it is denim, and it mixed and matched with all my tops. And this was a way to kind of really brighten out my outfits and give them a lighter look. And I love the look of white with white top with white bottoms by the beach for a summer trip. It feels really nice and airy and bright, and I don't know, makes me feel really good as well. So this actually ended up being one of my favorite outfits on the trip. So I was glad I brought these as well. I kind of knew I was going to want them. So I also kind of follow my gut as well. Sometimes if there's a particular clothing item that's just calling my name, I've learned to just take it because it ends up being something that I constantly rewear. So everybody's always wondering, well, what do you take to sleep in? I actually brought something versatile, unexpected, that I could wear if I needed to as a beach cover-up or even just kind of to relax as well. This is a Toad & Co. romper. Such a light, comfortable, breathable fabric that I thought this is going to be something really nice to sleep in if it's hot and it's humid outside. And as a plus, because it's so versatile and comfortable, I could also wear it outside as well. So I brought this to sleep with. It also packs pretty light and washes easily. So I didn't do any hand washing on this trip. They're Havaianas, and they're just a fun little, a neutral metallic color, a bronze color. So for me, that's a good neutral to mix and match with everything. The other reason why I wanted just a slip-on flip-flop versus my other Ipanema ones was because when you're diving, you're in and out of the water. You want to be able to slip in and out of your flip-flops really easily or your shoes really easily. So for me, that was important. So I just packed them in here. I actually also took a pair of Skechers slip-ons that I also packed in the same packing cube, and I don't know where they are at the moment, but I didn't end up using them because I only brought them because they were recommended, because there were other activities to do. But again, they were activities that I wasn't planning to do. And that's where you have to determine, well, are these recommendations suitable for my travels? So when you're researching for your trip and getting advice and researching the what to wear articles on Travel Fashion Girl, talking to the girls on the Community Travel Fashion Girls Facebook group, when they're advising you to bring things, think about, well, how can I adapt those to my own trip? So here, I'm showing you how I brought denim bottoms, but you might prefer linen trousers. And you might not like a sleeveless top. Maybe you prefer a longer sleeve top. And so more than anything, take the principles shown, 3 tops or 4 tops that you can mix and match with 2 bottoms versus the actual pieces. Adapt them to your needs. So in the group, in the Facebook group, I asked everybody, well, what else would you bring to Bonaire? And one of the things somebody recommended were a pair of long pants. And in my case, I did end up packing the matching trousers to this. They were worn together to look like a romper, but I didn't end up wearing them, which is why I ended up not hanging them here, because I ended up overpacking something, because normally I don't usually wear long trousers and there weren't really any mosquitoes. But I took them based on recommendations, and also because if there were mosquitoes, I was going to definitely want those trousers. Plus, I thought they also would make a good alternative pajama option versus this if it was cooler in the evenings, but didn't end up wearing it. Now, another thing with this, one of the recommendations from the readers was to take a long sleeve top to shield myself, to have some sun coverage during the day. And I didn't bring that because normally when I'm traveling in a warm weather destination, I very rarely wear long sleeves, and mostly because I knew I was going to be diving. So instead of lounging around in a long sleeve or walking around during the day, I was going to be in the water with a rash guard or a wetsuit. However, what I wish I would have brought was, even though I was advised that the island was really casual is open to interpretation. And it is a Dutch island in the Caribbean, so casual is interpreted differently, and I like a bit more of a slightly more dressy casual. So then I wish I would have brought a few blouses for the evening time. But that's just because that's my interpretation of casual. So that was one thing I didn't consider in the evenings because of the wind chill factor. It was breezier. So while short sleeve top was fine, I would have preferred to have a longer sleeve top to wear with my shorts, and that way I could have a dressy casual look. And that's something that I like. So that was my wish list item. I wish I would have brought long sleeve tops, not for the day, but for the evening to dress up my look a little bit more. Now, that's the capsule wardrobe, and I was able to pack this clothing in, and I've got pictures that I'll be sharing also in a blog post, in an upcoming blog post. And if you have any questions about any of the products shown here, make sure to check out travelfashiongirl.com/Facebook-live, where you'll see a list of all these products on there. So I was able to fit the clothing in the 1 and 2 packing cubes, the Compass Rose Slim packing cubes, and these are 2 packing cubes to help me pack light, to pack this clothing. But again, it's just 2 packing cubes. So if you wanted to have longer pants or longer sleeves, or the clothing that you wanted to pack had more fabric, well, keep in mind that I only use 2, so you might just need to use 3 or 4, and that's still pretty light. So just use the principles to adapt it to your own clothing preferences as well. So that ends the capsule wardrobe aspect of packing for Bonaire. And now I want to share with you some of the new swimsuits that I got for the trip because they were unexpected finds. I'm really pleased with them, and I haven't shared these with the blog with Travel Fashion Girl before. I mentioned earlier, normally I don't shop before a trip because I have my go-to items. You guys always see the same bag, my same purse, my same clothes, because I like them. So I don't really need to shop for more things. That's why I feel really strongly about buying investment pieces for myself now that I know I can rewear throughout my everyday life and my travels. But one thing I was really excited about for this trip was buying new swimwear. This is some of the new swimwear that I bought recently. I bought a couple of other pieces, but I didn't pack everything. I just took these 3. You can find all my swimwear finds that I recently purchased. You go to travelfashionGirl.com/new-swimsuits. You'll be able to see the full collection of the swimwear that I got, along with links and information about them as well, and we'll include a link to that in the comments below. So first, I want to start off with a rash guard because as a diver, even though the water was 26 degrees Celsius or 78 degrees Fahrenheit, when you're in the water for a long time, it can feel really cold. And in fact, for me, because I'm a warm weather diver versus a cold weather diver, I was really cold, and my husband and I were actually both really cold in the water. So having layers, having the option for layers under the wetsuit was really important when you're spending a long time in the water, especially when you're like at 20 meters or 60 feet or a little bit lower, then your body tends to get colder. So I brought this. In the end, I didn't actually end up wearing this to dive because I ended up wearing 2 wetsuits to dive, but I wore this for snorkeling and it ended up being perfect. So let me show this one to you. It was a find, a recent find on Amazon, and with a last minute trip, and I needed to get things instantly. I turned to Amazon Prime, so that was really handy. I did a search for what I was looking for, then chose the option on Amazon that lets you search by things that are eligible for Prime. So things needed to get there quickly, and this got there quickly. I don't know what brand it is. I don't really think it's a particular brand name, and it was, I think, around $30. So I was willing to take a risk, and I'm so happy I did because it's a one piece. And what I really liked about this is to be in the water. Unlike other rash guards, when I'm snorkeling in the water normally, it's kind of riding up on my tummy. So then I end up with either my tummy's cold or water's flying in or the rash guard is coming up. So this was a nice way to keep everything just in one place. So I love that. I also like the fact that it had the zipper, because before I was in the water, I was able to lower it, and then as I got in the water, I was able to close it up, so that way I had more coverage from the water. So this, I love. I've got this. It's available like in a million prints, and I don't know, very excited about this one. And I was looking for a rash guard that would match with one of my new bathing suits, which is this one right here. I got this one very recently, and maybe my disclaimer should be that normally I prefer swimwear that has cups, and I've previously published an article on cup-friendly bathing suits that and featured brands that offer cups in a variety of bra sizes that are also cute as well. So I'll post a link to that. I think it's called Bra Friendly Bikinis and Bathing Suits on Travel Fashion Girl, I'm not sure. But I was looking for a one-piece bathing suit, and I didn't really see any right now available that were particularly suitable to my style preferences. So I decided to give a couple of bathing suits that didn't have cups a try. And while they both aren't quite as supportive as I would have liked, because it was just going to be a really chilled out trip, I thought I'd risk it, and I'm really happy with my risk. So this is this is a branded suit. It's Miracle Suit, and they're known to be able to create the illusion of a certain silhouette and slimming certain parts that maybe not all women feel particularly confident about. So I thought I definitely wanted to check out this Miracle Suit, and it was such a pretty color, like a mermaid's fish, I don't know, perfect marine ocean bathing suit color. So I loved it. I was very happy with it. Would have loved an underwire in it, but totally fine. It worked out, and I felt very confident in it. And this is a lesson for me that it's worth testing out new styles, whether it's clothing or swimwear, because you never know what you're going to feel good in. And confidence really is the most important thing that you can pack, and the most important thing about style. And I also like the extra coverage as well, because also for scuba diving, a moderate bikini bottom cut, so it wasn't too exposed, it wasn't too covered. it was a nice balance for what I was looking for. So I ticked a lot of the boxes. I first found it on Nordstrom, and it was double the price that it was on Amazon. So I was really happy that I also checked Amazon. So it was pricier, but worth it for me. Now this, I needed to balance out a covered up diving suit with a more fun, I'm hanging out at the beach and I still want to look like a bombshell in a one-piece bathing suit piece. So I gave this one a try. I decided to pop, because I was going from someone used to wearing bikinis and two pieces to a one piece, I thought I'd just kind of tune things up a little bit by choosing a brighter color versus my normal neutral colors for a bathing suit. So I went for a pop of red, which I think actually looks really good with a picture of the ocean background. And again, not the support that I was looking for, but not a lack of support either. One of the things that I liked about it is that this actually had the option to adjust your straps, which makes a huge difference to everything. And it offered the coverage that I was looking for here, but it had a really fun open back and flirty design in the back. So I was happy with that. I was really happy to find a balance between coverage and style. Sufficient coverage for me in the bottom area. It's not quite as skimpy as it looks. It was actually, I felt very confident in it. I really liked it. And it was around, again, $30 on Amazon as well. This is one of the cool new finds and had great reviews. So I'm really glad that I gave this a chance. It's not a branded bathing suit. So very excited with that bathing suit. Normally, I don't want to overpack, so I'll go with one bikini, maybe two. And in this case, it was really important to have two, because if I'm in the water all day diving, and I have with this one, for example, so it's going to be wet. So while this one was drying, it was nice to have the red one. And the bathing suit that I brought, I did bring a third one in this case, and I didn't actually need it, but by the end of the trip, I was happy I brought it. I did bring a two-piece bikini, just a classic black. Again, no name bikini bottoms. I do like the side twist because it makes it adjustable and there's less pinching on your hips. But this is, and if you're a lady that prefers a cup bikini top, I can't recommend this one enough. If I could undo it. I have featured it previously. This is my go-to diving top. Or just like general bikini top. It's very plain. It's available in a variety of colors. This is a brand. It's from Body Glove, and it is available on Amazon and a variety of other places. But it does have underwire. It has pretty much full coverage, but because the back is adjustable, it makes it easier to adjust for your own body versus having one that's a bandwidth. So this for me is really good. It's comfortable, and also like you can just pack it really light. So I love this, and you'll also find a link to that as well in the swimsuit article. So that's just this is my go-to piece. Another thing I like about this is normally if you wear a cup size, well, I'll just say that this is easy to wear with tops that you might not normally be able to wear if you're used to having a thicker bra strap. So I actually like this to double up as a bra, and that's actually how it ended up working out well for me, because these were drying on the last day and I didn't want them, they were wet and I didn't want to pack them wet, but this is something that I knew would dry faster. So I was able on the last day when I wasn't diving, because you're not supposed to dive 24 hours before flying, I was able to wear this one without really worrying about it not drying in time. Plus, I was also able to wear it as a bra underneath, for example, like this top. This sums up my capsule for a 1-week beach trip in Bonaire. Now, my flight outfit wasn't a part of what I have here because I was traveling from San Diego to England. So I'm wearing my flight outfit right now. I traveled with a flannel shirt dress. So I'll show this one to you. It's a flannel shirt dress by Rails. It's a long sleeve. I cuff the sleeves to add a little bit more style to it. Add a few necklaces to make it dressed up a little bit. I'm wearing a silk-like cami underneath, so that way I had the option to wear this open or close it up, especially transitioning from the heat in Bonaire. I had the cami on, and then as I got on the plane and it was a little bit colder, I was able to layer it with the flannel, and I paired this with my Spanx leggings that I shared with you guys last time. I know it's Spanx. It sounds like they're uncomfortable, but they're not uncomfortable at all. I wish they were, because that means they'd be doing more of a Spanx job, where they should be. But in this case, they're so comfortable, and I've loved them for traveling. I've been traveling with them. I traveled with them to Mexico City. I've worn them on the flights. They are super comfy, even more so than the Zella ones. And I'm actually not sure. I'll try to stand on the chair. I'm wearing these, the leggings right now with the cami. So this was my flight outfit. And then you can see it's like a faux leather, but not really super faux leather. It's very soft. And so this was my flight outfit with my ankle boots. And on top of that with my anatomy coat, my new anatomy coat, wherever that one is. And that's what I wore on the flight, and wore that to go to Bonaire from San Diego, so I was warm, and then I re-wore the exact same outfit to travel from Bonaire back to England. That's a way that you don't have to worry as much about packing a bunch of clothing that you're not going to wear. You can just re-wear your flight outfit to go there and back, and then just pack your warm weather clothing. So all of this was packed into my new Tumi travel bag. This was a great chance to test it out. In the front of the bag, I was able to pack my shoes and other essentials that I would need for the flight. And, oh, nope, I didn't put my toiletry bag in there. I'll show you where I put it in a moment. So opening up the bag, it's really cool because it opens up completely, but then it also has a closure here that you can zip up. It's a really clever bag. I am very happy with it. And in here, I was able to just, let's do a little packing here. I was able to pack the 2 packing cubes right here, and then my toiletry bag, which I'll talk to you a little bit about, then went right at the top. I then placed, hopefully that doesn't fall, placed the underwear in the built-in organizer right on top, put my packable sun hat here, and then I didn't really use the other compartments for much, but closed this up. So let me show you what the cool features about this bag was, that because I put my toiletry bag right at the top, when I was going through security, it was really easy for me just to unzip, and then I pulled the handle out, and then I took out my 311 Ziploc bag. So super easy, go through security, grab my laptop, grab my iPad, boom, done. I was just so relieved at the fact that I was able to have that whole security process go so easily, because I can't even tell you how bad it was before. So got that down. Very happy with my Tumi bag. On top of that, because I was in a warm destination, I didn't want to wear my coat, and I didn't want to pack my coat. So I was able to attach my, my scarf, wherever that is. I did have a scarf with me, so I was able to attach it to this section along with my coat, and I don't know where my coat is, but I was able to attach it to my coat as I was carrying everything and going, walking through the airport. So that was a really cool feature. I think Tumi did a really awesome job. I had pretty much given up on finding my unicorn of a laptop bag / personal item, but I got this the Emmy Petite toiletry bag sent to me, and I unboxed it during the Facebook Live, and I have to admit, when I saw the interior, I was really skeptical about its functionality. So let me open it up. It just opens up, and it has a variety of compartments. When I first saw it, I saw these little compartments, and I thought, again, really small, that's gonna be inconvenient to go through security. How am I gonna get my 311 bag in there, my Ziploc bag? And then one of the readers pointed out during the Facebook Live, you could just put the Ziploc bag in there. And I thought, oh, so I thought that was genius. I hadn't even thought about it. So sure enough, here's my 311 bag, and I do have another Facebook Live where I walk you through how to downsize all your toiletries and get them into small containers like this. But you'll see my Ziploc bag is pretty beat up because I like to reuse them, so I'm not wasting plastic. I'm trying to discontinue my use of Ziploc bags or plastic bags in general, but with the exception of going through security at the airport because they really like to have this one. So I was able to place my 311 bag in here. Let me show you. Close it up like this, and it ended up fitting perfectly. So easy. I was shocked. So I'm really excited about this. This is definitely gonna be my new go-to toiletry bag. I don't like a big toiletry bag. I like a nice compact bag that works on my carry-on full-time, whether I'm traveling for a week, a weekend, or several months at a time. This is the size that I use. So very happy with this one. So Emmy, thank you guys so much for sending it to me and making me a convert. And it also has a little hook, which is, I was able to put that into my bathroom at the resort. So happy with my new toiletry bag, happy with my new Tumi bag. And ultimately, it's all about having a stress-free travel experience. And that's what this is all about, is being a prepared traveler, is a smart traveler, and then you don't have to worry about having a stressful experience at the airport. What if you're running late? What if there's a huge line through security? Things that, we were going to the Miami airport and on our connection, and one of the security lines was insanely long, way longer than we expected to go, even though we came with like 3 hours in advance. it was still hectic. So the last thing you want to do is scramble around with your personal item, with the toiletry bag and all this stuff. I'm all about a stress-free experience, and this new backpack was able to completely help me to have a more stress-free experience. So very happy that I found this at the store before I left San Diego. So yay, thank God. And also having a capsule wardrobe and taking just what you need, knowing your activities, what the weather's gonna be, not just the air temperature, but also the wind chill factor. That can change everything, because it can be a sunny day, but when it's breezy and windy, then it can make things feel a lot colder. I always travel also with my Tippy sweater, my J. Crew merino wool sweater, and I actually layered this one on the flight over my clothing. I don't know if I should do that right now, but on one of the flights I wore it underneath because I get cold on the flight, and then on the other one I was able to just kind of throw it on, put it on top, take my collar off, you know, just kind of adjust it, and then have that extra layer of warmth on the flight. So I love that, and it's really easy just to pack up. So hopefully you enjoyed, and if you know anybody that's going to be traveling soon, make sure to hit the share button below and send this video over to them. So if you know somebody heading on a beach trip, and if anybody's going anywhere else, travelfashiongirl.com is an awesome resource, and we have packing lists and tips on what to wear for just about any destination in the world. I hope you had fun, because I did. Safe and stylish travels. See you soon.